Okay guys, I'm back and we're getting closer. I'll show you what it looks like. We are now close to the soft crack stage, and you see it's starting to get that really nice golden toffee color that everybody comes to expect. Now, for a cook, for someone who bakes and, not stirring this has been the biggest challenge, and trusting that this is not gonna burn. So I'm here to tell you this works. Don't sweat it. If you're gonna make this, don't worry about it. It's gonna be just fine. So in the meantime, what I'm gonna do, I cleared off a couple of things here. I made some pretzels, just put Ghirardelli or Ghirardelli, however it's pronounced, white chocolate on pretzels and a few sprinkles. But there was a recipe for almond bark, and since I already had toasted almonds, I thought, what the heck? We'll try this. So I'm gonna break that up in the meantime while I'm waiting and just kind of get that ready to go. And the other thing is these toasted almonds are slivered already, but they suggest that you crunch them, which is what I did last time. So I'm gonna do it this time as well. So I'm just gonna crunch these toasted almonds. Now, I'm not gonna use all of these this time, but you can store them, it's not a problem. All right, so those are good to go. And whenever I made toffee a couple of days ago, what I didn't do is what they recommended, sea salt. So I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit on it this time, and let's check it and see where we are. Okay, we're getting closer. We're at 280 and a little bit above that. The moment that it hits 300, it's coming off the heat, and the vanilla is ready. I've got my spoon ready. I'll get those things in a closer proximity. I'm gonna take some of these almonds and put them in a bowl so it's a little bit easier. And I'm ready and prepared to do this. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. Just throw some of these in here. Now, what I did last time, and it seemed to work out just fine, is I sprinkled quite a bit on there, and the stuff that didn't adhere because of the chocolate, it fell off. Well, okay, so what? It fell off. It's a little bit of a waste of the almonds, but at least you know that you have a nice coated area, and you're not gonna be almond shy, if that's a thing. So that looks like enough to me. Let's check this again, because we don't wanna miss that golden moment. All right, it looks like we were at 292. So it's getting critical. We don't wanna miss this window. And you can see the bubbling, it's slowed down because it's thickening. So now that it's thickening, it's getting closer to that hard crack stage. So whenever we put it out on the aluminum, it's gonna set up to a really nice kind of I guess like a lollipop consistency. But since I put corn syrup and water in it before I started boiling this down, that gives it a really nice mouth feel. Do you see? We're almost at 300, and I'm gonna do this quickly. And I'm watching it, and I'm gonna go ahead and turn my heat off. And we're at 300. So I'm gonna pull this and throw that in the sink so it's not in my way. I've got my dinner thawing in there. All right, and then I'm gonna take my spoon and my vanilla and throw just a little bit of vanilla in there. Now, obviously I didn't measure that, but it's not a big deal. Stir it up and make sure this is nicely distributed. We want half-B toffee. Ooh, okay. All right. Now, the dump. I'm gonna try to do this one-handed so you can see the magic of this. I'll just throw this here momentarily. Okay. Are you ready? The dump. and it looks like the edges are gonna be just fine. Throw my pan over here. That looks a little undermixed. That's probably some vanilla, or it could be a little bit of pooled butter, but that's looking pretty good. Now I do want this thin, so I'll probably just push it out a little bit more. All right, that's looking pretty happy. Now, how do we do the chocolate? This is how we do the chocolate. 2 cups. This is Nestle's Toll House. I don't know if they're semi-sweet or milk chocolate. I bought them a long time ago and I don't have the bag in my pantry any longer. But it's just basically what you would use for chocolate chips for cookies. We're gonna sprinkle this all over. This recipe couldn't be any easier. Honest to goodness. I love toffee. I think most people do. All right. So now we'll give it just a second to soften, maybe a minute. And as soon as it's softened, I'll start smearing it around, and once that's nice and coated, I'll throw the nuts on and a little bit of salt, and it's done. And then it just sits. All right, you can see it's still a little bit stiff, but it's okay. I'm gonna keep working it in, utilizing the heat. Now this toffee is gonna cool down probably substantially faster since it's on this stone countertop, and the countertop has a consistently cooler temperature. I hope you can see this well. It's kind of hard to do both at the same time, but make it happen. All right. And we call that good enough. That is good enough. Now we're gonna throw these almonds on here. And that sea salt. Now maybe I could have put this on when the chocolate was exposed. That probably would have been a better idea. And I don't want to put too much of this since I didn't do this last time, but I do like salt and chocolate together. I think it gives it a really nice opposing taste. So, and what I'm doing is just picking off some of those almonds that I think look a little too toasted, but that's it. Now, what do we do in the meantime? Wash dishes. I'm gonna sprinkle just a little bit more salt because those top nuts are gonna come off whenever I start brushing it apart. So, I'm gonna wash dishes and just let it sit probably 2 hours. And after it sits, I'll start breaking it apart, and that's it. That's toffee. So again, to recap, that was a pound of butter, so 4 sticks of butter, and that sweet cream butter. 2 cups of sugar, and you can use 1 cup brown sugar or 2 cups white. I'm sorry, 1 cup white, 1 cup brown, or 2 cups white. I use 2 cups white sugar. And then 3 tablespoons of corn syrup and 3 tablespoons or a 1/4 cup of water. This time I did a 1/4 cup, the last time I did 3 tablespoons. And then the almonds, you can see that's just kind of to taste, whatever you got handy. If you want pecans, put pecans on it, just chop them up. Make sure you toast them. 400 degrees in the oven, just don't let them burn, otherwise it's gonna give it kind of a funk taste. And yeah, that's it. And the rest is sea salt. So I'm gonna break this up and put it in boxes. And for those of you who thought that I didn't make this, guess what? I got skills. Take care.